To replace a broken LCD screen on a Samsung SF310, you will need one new screen, a couple of different flathead screwdrivers and a couple of different crosshead screwdrivers, and somewhere to put the screws so that they don't get lost while you're working on the computer. So step one is to remove the 6 rubber screw covers and then the 6 screws that hold the display bezel in place. Getting the bezel itself off was one of the hardest things. Just start at one corner, find a place where it pops open and gradually work your way around. Once you have the bezel removed, you can remove the 4 screws that hold the LCD panel itself in place. When the screws are out, don't rush to pull the panel away. Before you can do that, you must remove the cable from the webcam at the top of the screen. I found the easiest way to remove the webcam connector was to use a pair of pliers, grip each side and gently pull it off. So this is removing the webcam connector. Once you've done this, the display will pull forwards and you can carefully unstick the wire for the webcam connector from the back. So the webcam connector doesn't actually connect to the LCD panel at all. It's simply held in place. They use the panel as a handy place to stick the cable to. Once you've done that, I used just a sharp, small flathead screwdriver to ease off the connector that actually connects the LCD panel to the computer. And then the refitting is the reversal of the above. So with the protective cover still in place, reconnect the cable to the back of the LCD panel. I used a screwdriver just to help push each end in place. Try not to put any force on the cable itself, just try to push on the connector. And when that's done, stick down the tape that holds the connector in place. Now you can remove the tabs that hold the protective plastic cover in place, but don't remove the cover yet if you want to keep your fingerprints off it. I stick the webcam cable back on the panel. Actually had to do this twice. I put it back on, fitted it in place, discovered that it was now just a little bit too high at the top, so I removed it again and adjusted it. It's worth getting that right. Reinsert the 4 black screws that hold the LCD panel in place. If you drop one, use a pair of pliers to pick it up. There's always one that slides down in an awkward place. I put them in loosely and then go around again to check that they're tight. They did have some sort of Loctite thread sealant on them. I didn't replace that, but you certainly could. Use the pliers again to put the webcam connector back in place. Check that it's all nice and snug. Pliers were definitely the best option. There just isn't anything else to get at apart from the cable. Now it's time to remove the protective screen, and you could test it at this point. I actually popped the bezel back in place first and just verified that it worked before I screwed everything back up. In many ways, putting the bezel back is the hardest part of the job. I started at the top, which was a mistake, and then had to pop it all back off again and start again at the bottom. So once again, take your time, make sure it's well popped back in place before you put all the screws back in, and then when the screws are tight, you can put the little rubber covers back over the top. And job done.